mean, yeah, we got the base game plan in, and we're just ready to rock and roll, man. Ready to get out there in front of the fans and play a meaningful game.
First time we're seeing you after the 53-man roster shutdown. What do you have in this deep four-man tight end room, do you think?
I mean, I think we got a lot of mismatch problems, man. It is what it is. I think we got great athletes, especially the two young guys coming up and being, very professional early on in their career, taking notes and figuring out, natural instincts to be able to go out there and play in the field. And then obviously the veteran aspect of Blake Bell and having him back in the room and knowing that he knows the offense already, and we just keep growing, man. And there's a lot of possibilities that we could do with that group.
Travis, when you run 12 personnel, it's called Tiger. So if you go out there and incorporate 14, what's the name of that package?
That one's T-Rex Tiger. Right, yeah, there you go, T-Rex, baby.
Travis, with all the fans back on Sunday, what's that energy going to do for you guys in the field?
Oh man, it's hard to say at this point. I mean, I'm just fired up to get out there and play a meaningful game, let alone get out there in front of Kansas City again. We were lucky enough to actually have fans last year, and we know it wasn't full capacity, so it wasn't what Arrowhead is usually. But at the same time, man, it's just exciting to get out there and play a meaningful game. I think Arrowhead's going to show up and do their part. They always do.
Travis, I asked Andy this when he was up, but being that you played in the AFC Championship game and the last two Super Bowls, as a player, anything less than hoisting up the Lombardi for you, how would you consider that season? Will it be a failure, disappointment?
I said it last year was a failure. It's a failure every year you don't have it. I've had 8 years where I've failed, and 1 year where I've actually accomplished all the goals and had a successful season. That's just how I look at it, man. I'm stuck in that mode, really. I mean, it's just either you find a way to win the Lombardi, or you gotta figure something out next year.
And to that point, we saw with Powering, was in the COVID protocol. Are you all willing to make the same sacrifices like you did last year if it means to keep the positive test down, that you all, maybe, even though you're mostly vaccinated, that you don't go out in the public, that you go, practice game, Uber Eats, DoorDash and stuff to make sure that, you don't have any type of outbreak or anything this season?
Yeah, I think we got good leadership, good guys that actually want to play and are taking the right precautions outside the field. And outside the locker room, there's certain things that you just have to do to make sure that you're able to play week in, week out, and I'm sure everybody's trying to take those precautions. Obviously, we're still dealing with COVID, so you're still trying to get a grasp of how that world works, knowing that we're still early on in it, and from there, just like I said, try and be accountable to the guys next to you and make the right decisions.
Travis, are there certain principles that you can take from the playoff game, or do you look at it as it may in some ways be a disadvantage because you know how much you guys have changed and you can expect that from the Browns?
I mean, you could always learn from previous games. Whether it's the defensive coordinator, how he felt that he was able to slow us down or stop us, and maybe even new players coming in. I think there's about five guys, maybe 6 guys that we actually played against last year that are still there, at least in the starting lineup that I've seen. And going from there, it's just making sure that you know your matchups, make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into in situational football, and go on from there. But you can always learn from the previous games, man.
Travis, you talk about matchups, and teams are going to try to take away from what Tampa Bay did and have young linebackers that are able to get out in space, cover you. How have you changed your game this offseason?
I had to evolve, man. Had to figure out ways to still be accountable, and that's what I've taken pride in my entire career. And I'm still, honored to be out there with these guys in this locker room, and we're going to go ahead and go to work. I know exactly what happened last year and how teams think that they can slow it down, but we also got a great mind in terms of Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy and this offensive staff to get myself and everybody else in the building an opportunity to have success with the play calls, and that's exactly where we're at.
Is there anything you can elaborate on that without giving something away, and how you feel like you've evolved because of the way teams try to defend you?
I mean, yeah, you just gotta trust Coach Reid and his mastermind. To be honest, it's you understand exactly. Like I said, by watching film from last year, you understand how teams are going to want to try and slow you down or stop you, and from there, you just got to find different ways to critique the offense into getting open. And I've trusted Coach Reid with that my entire career, and I haven't been let down. So definitely fired up for this first game.
You all have gotten off to a real good start over the last few years. Your first 5 or 7 games you're playing playoff teams that performed last year. How important is it for you all to impose your will and to get off to a good start once again to kind of impose your dominance?
I mean, that's every single year, right? You want to get off to a great start, set yourself up for the long haul. I mean, start fast, finish fast. Start fast, finish strong. That's always been the mentality here. To be able to come out the gates ready, both mentally and physically, and then be able to finish the game physically and mentally in the same regard. And it's just it's something that we trust Coach Reed with. You know, that's why we had training camp the way we did, and it's why we work the way we do.
Travis, you guys haven't lost a game in September in a long time now. Something you can put your finger on as to why you guys the last several years have started the season so fast?
I think it has to go back to what I was saying with Coach Reed and this offensive staff being able to present a new look for the defense, you know, and maybe something they haven't seen before, and just wrinkles to a lot of the stuff that we've done. It kind of puts them at a reactionary position early on, and I guess as the season goes on, you know, sometimes teams, I mean, they get paid too, right? It's like teams are out there to stop you and scheme you up. So I think it's just it's an ongoing process to keep trying to be, you know, the one that's ahead in terms of the mind game or the chess game. And from there, it's just, you know, going out there and execute. And I think we've got a lot of guys these last couple of years that we can go out there and start fast.
Travis, when you played in Cleveland, it seemed like you were particularly fired up. I know there was a playoff game last year, but you're still involved in your hometown to some extent, doing things there. Just how special is it for you every time you do get to play the Browns, especially given this is going to be week 1 too?
I mean, this is outside of last year's playoff game. I feel like this has even more anticipation just because it's the first game of the year. We did meet up in the playoffs last year. The Browns have been getting a lot better and a lot better over the years, and now I mean, obviously they're a playoff team. They're a championship caliber team. So we just have to go out there and be ourselves, man. Execute, do our things. I'm always fired up to play football, man. My first jersey was a Bernie Kosar Browns jersey, so I'm familiar with the area. Obviously, I just got a lot of love for the fans and the family back home. But right now, I'm a Chief, baby, in this Chiefs kingdom.
After watching them over the years, is this the best team that you've seen that they've had?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Hey, Travis, you've had a lot of accolades in your career, but this year with NFL 100, being ranked as highly as you were, does that mean something to you, especially at this point in your career?
I mean, I definitely have some honor in that. I definitely, without a doubt, think this is very cool to, you know, get that respect from the guys throughout the league. I still, like I said when it came out, I still think there's like some type of question on how you exactly rank a guy in such a team sport, you know. But at the same time, I'm appreciative of it. It just makes me want to work harder.
Last two, Relivo and then Nate.
Your brand new offensive line that you guys had from the Super Bowl last year, what are you seeing from them as they progress through camp, especially the young guys? This will be their first NFL start.
Yeah, we just got to make sure that they feel comfortable. You know, that's the biggest thing, and that's what the leaders in this locker room are for. That's what, you know, Pat Mahomes is back there for. He's going to make sure everybody feels at ease and feels comfortable in our house, even though bullets are flying for the first time with this new offensive line and to be honest, a new team. Every year you have to rebuild this thing. You know, it's got to look different from last, or else you're going to get caught up in the scheme of things. So, just I don't know, figuring it out. Trying to make sure that they, like I said, feel at ease, and we'll go from there.
You confident with what you've seen from them, though? I mean, that they're ready for this?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I got no questions on our guys right now. I mean, we've been flying around. The last time we were together with that preseason game, we felt like we finally got the ball rolling and got some momentum going, some chemistry out there on the field, and how to really go out there and fight for each other.
Last one, Nate.
With what you said earlier, Travis, about new wrinkles, new plays, obviously making the defense even more reactionary than they want to be. What does that feel like on the field when you know it's the first game and you guys have been playing weeks, months for such a look? What's that like for you before the ball is snapped?
I think I think you can start to anticipate things a little bit faster, especially with the new wrinkles. You start to get an understanding of why we're calling the plays, exactly how I want to, you know, run my route or get my guy blocked, depending on the leverage that I have. And it's just, you know, you play a little bit faster, you play a little bit quicker because you get so much time to prepare. So it's just understanding the game plan, understand the play callers, you know, mentality, and going out there and execute.